The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Miss Mehavi Simmons. Chapter 7. Tom and Huck Swear an Oath. The two boys flew on and on toward the village, speechless with horror. They glanced backward over their shoulder from time to time, as if they feared that they might be followed. If we can get only to the old mill before we break down, gasped Tom. I can't bear this much longer. Huckleberry's heavy breathing was his only reply. At last, they brushed through the open door of the old mill and felt grateful and exhausted in the sheltering shadows. After a time, their breathing became regular, and Tom said, Huck, what do you think will happen? If Dr. Robinson dies, Redskin Joe will be hanged. Tom thought for a moment and then said, Who's there? We? What are you talking about? If we do, and Redskin Joe isn't hanged, why? He will kill us sometime or another. Or other. As sure as we're lying here, if anybody tell, let Porter do it. If he's fully enough, he's generally drunk enough. Tom went on thinking and then Huck, how can Porter tell? He doesn't know anything about it. What? Why? Doesn't he know? Porter couldn't see anything. He just been stunned when Redskin Joe struck the doctor with his knife. That's so Tom. After another thoughtful silence, Tom asked, Huck, are you sure that you can keep silent about it? Tom, we must. You know that? If we tell people what we have seen and what it and if that devilish half-breed escape hanging, he'll drown us just as if we were a couple of cats. Now, Tom, we must swear off each other to keep our mouth shut. I agree, Huck. It's the best thing. Shall we just hold hands and swear that we... Oh no! That wouldn't do for this. That's good enough for generally things, but there ought to be writing about a big thing like this and blood. Tom highly approved of this idea. It was deep and dark and awful. The hour, the circumstance, and the surroundings suited. He picked up the clean flat piece of wood that lay in the moonlight, took the end of a pencil out of his pocket, got the moonlight on his work, and with his tongue between his teeth, write these lines. Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer and Tom Sawyer swear that they would keep their mouth shut about this, and they would that wish that they may drop dead in their tricks if they ever tell. Huckleberry was filled with admiration of the ease with which Tom wrote and of the superior style of his language. Then Tom unwound and the thread from one of his needles, and each boy pricked his thumb and pressed out a drop of blood. In time, by pressing over and over again, Tom managed to sign the letter T and S using of the end of his little finger for a pen. Then he showed Huckleberry how to make an H and an F, and the yours was complete. They buried the piece of wood close to the wall, pulled to the wood completely. They buried the piece of wood close to the wall with some mournful ceremonies and charms, and the chain that bound their tongues were considered to be locked and the key thrown away. Then they separated when Tom crept in the bedroom window. The night was almost ending. He undressed with excessive caution and fell asleep, congratulate, congratulating himself with nobody know of his absence. He was not aware that Sid had been awake for an hour when Tom awoke. Sid had dressed and gone. There was a late look at the light. He was startled. Why had he not been called? In the in a few minutes, he was downstairs, feeling stiff and sleepy. The family were still at the table, but they had finished breakfast. His aunt did not blame him, but said with downcast, downcast eye, Tom had his breakfast in gloomy silence. After breakfast, his aunt took him aside, wept over him, and asked him how he could break her old heart so by his bad behavior. She told him that she had given up hope for making him a good boy. This was worse than 1,000 whippings, and Tom's heart was sore now than his body. He cried, begged for forgiveness, and promised over and over again not to misbehave. When he was finally dismissed, he felt that she had little confidence in his promise and that she had not forgiven him entirely. He felt too miserable to take his revenge agency, so his speedy retreat through the back to the back gate of to the back gate was unnecessary. At school, while he was was being punished with your harbor for staying away the day before. He looked as if he did not care what happened to him. He sat down, braced his elbow on his desk, and he still in his hand and stared at the wall with the stony stare of suffering that had reached the limit and can't go no further. His elbow was pressing against some hard substance. After a long time, he slowly and sadly changed his position and took up this object with a sigh. With it was wrapped in paper. He unwrapped it. Aside from the very deep follow, and his heart broke. It was his breath door handle. This last though broke the camel's back.